One of the ways to bridge to having an RV sabbatical is to work remotely, but not every RV is going to give you a good option. In fact, often when an RV manufacturer has a desk of some kind already built in, it's fixed in place, which means it's not as comfortable as you might want. So I found myself asking, of the RVs out there, are there any out there that lend themselves to having a remote desk area without having to build out anything, without having to modify anything? It's just a matter of altering the space that's being used, right? And I did find one. So in this video, I'm going to highlight the type of RV that I think you could basically have a remote workspace without doing much of anything. So this gives you a lot more flexibility. Okay, so here's the first RV we're gonna be looking at, and you'll see it basically has a rear couch in it, right? But this whole rear couch can be easily, moved, put into storage, and then you can utilize this area for a remote workspace. So I basically found a desk that could work in this area, and I took the tape measure out and measured everything, and it works just fine. The length of like a little over 46 inches, and then 24 inches deep, and then the height starts at 21 inches and goes on up. And that's the consideration I think that's most important. Having a desk that could be a standing desk if you wanted it to be, or at different heights. That height is going to be variable, and that's important so that you get the ergonomic setting that you need. Both the desk and the chair itself are really important to have that work the way you want to, and why a desk area already set in an RV won't necessarily work for everybody, right? You have different heights, different considerations, and so that's where you are gonna get one of those desks, one of those stand-up desks that maneuver up and down so you can alter it as you like. And you're gonna alter the chair settings, and you're gonna have some different ergonomic things for you that are gonna make it the best. So let me show you basically what I'm talking about. So on the screen, first off, I'm gonna show you first, this is the desk that I found. There's any number of them, and go do your research and figure out which one is gonna work best for you. But having that variability of height is really key. And then the chair, there are tons of chairs out there. So just, obviously pick a chair, but let me show you what I mean. Okay, so you'll see I moved the couch out of the way, okay? And I'm basically sitting in this desk area. So you can see the space that you're in, right? This frees up this whole space. And there are some RVs where you could actually use the slide out area, but usually they have little lips. Or as you can see with this one, there's a bit of a carpet setup. So it makes it hard to basically have a chair and slide it, the way you want it to be. All right, so what we've got here is our space, right? And we're gonna be taking our tape measure, and you can see our 46-inch mark is right about there. So that brings it out to here, 46 inches, 24 inches deep. So that puts you right about here, 2 feet, right about there, okay? And so your desk is right here, and it can go, up and down however you like. And then your chair is going to be in this outer part, okay? The couch wouldn't be here, and you'd be utilizing a little bit of this space here. That's the only problematic part. But I am looking for, and I might be able to show up on the screen, an option that basically fits into this space right here and is a much shorter desk. So for example, for this area, you'd have about obviously each RV is different, but I'd say 3 feet, right? 36 inches. So if you could find a 36 inch, there are some, a lot of times this, I'll show you in a second, a lot of times these dimensions in this rear area is going to be pretty similar. Okay, so the options that you have are going to be pretty similar. And then you could fit a desk in this, and all this area right here you could use for your chair, and go up and down. You still have this part over here that you can use however you like. And with that desk, whatever configuration you have for the desk, you're also going to use an arm. I'll have the arm on the screen right about now, and that arm is going to basically allow you to have a monitor up and articulate it however you like. So really, you're going to be able to dial in that the height, your chair, the angle of the monitor, everything that you would need to make it ergonomically really good for you to be sitting there for hours on end. And then when you get tired of sitting, you just move your desk up and you're standing, because sitting is the new smoking, and so on and so forth, right? This is the ideal, is to have this rear area where you're going to have a couch that you can pull out. So what I'm going to do now is basically go into some other RVs and show you real quick what those other options look like. I mean, they all kind of look pretty similar to what you see here. And so it might get your mind thinking, right? Okay, when you're looking at an RV, look for a slide out. Now with a smaller table, you could really look at the slide out as an option. If the slide out has a couch that you can basically store elsewhere, then that slide out with the smaller, shorter desk could actually work. And so I'm going to go into a couple other RVs and show you what I mean with the slide out being an option. And it really depends. If there's carpet, obviously that's not going to work out so well. But there are some others that it will. And I won't be able to necessarily pull out, like I did with this one, the couch, because of the weight, and I really don't, but you'll get an idea from this initial part how that could work. All right, you got a little bit of a low light situation going on here, but you'll see basically some loungers in this rear part, and got a similar sort of length, 3 foot out, just a little bit shorter, so you're gonna be hard pressed, but you could still technically do the 3 feet. I think, it depends on how comfortable you are being that close to the door. And then of course you have more than enough room to go across with that desk. So again, real quick, here's another older option. This is a 2017 Vibe, very popular. This is a penny sale, so this one's gone, but let's go see some more. Okay, so here's a slide out that basically has the couch that you could take out of there and put elsewhere, and then you've got plenty of room basically. As long as you stay within this bottom floor part, then you'll do just fine. But if you look, then you'd have to go with the shorter, like 3 foot desk option. Okay, but if you did, then you could be in the slide out, and then let's say your desk, they're typically a couple feet out, then you've got all this other area right here that you're sliding around in with your desk chair. And the great part is, of course, you've got plenty of window, and so you can be in the slide out area with a desk area with no build. You just move the couch. Okay, so here's a typical slide out with your lounger area. Okay, and this is pretty tight, but I think that could be done. The one part that would be something you'd have to be okay with is this. This isn't carpet. It's actually a marine grade poly. This still has enough room to do things. I mean, you've got plenty of space. It goes 3 foot out. You could definitely do it that way. And then let's say 28 foot, even 29 if you wanted. A lot of times they're just a couple feet. And then you've got all this room for your chair. You could still have your monitor set up and everything like that. So I think this could actually work out pretty well. There's a Rockwood. I'll have links to all the different RVs that I'm showing in the description. Just showing another option. Again, this is a pretty common scenario where you do have a marine grade below, and so you could take out this lounger, sell it to somebody or whatever, and then you could again set up your little desk area, and it works out pretty well. But I think there's a lot of different options when you start to open up ideas of how you can move things around and basically reconfigure rather than having to build out stuff. the last thing you want to do is build out something and then you just don't like it and nobody else likes it and so on and so forth. So this gives you some idea, even if you were to just, move stuff around and make sure that you like having that sort of setup. And once you do, well, then configure it to your heart's content, right? So hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to give it a like if you did, and I'll see you next time.